Good morning, everyone. May 19th, 2020, day number 37. And today, let's talk about protecting yourself while you flip Project 2020 cards. Hopefully you had a really good Monday and you're about to have a really great Tuesday if you're watching this in real time, or really have a great day whenever you watch this. But as I was doing my intro for the video, card 79 and card 80 were released for Project 2020, which is Willie Mays and Jackie Robinson. But that also presents us a challenge in the sports card community. Unlike a normal baseball card product release like a 2020 Bowman or a 2020 Series 1, all of the cards come out at one time. This is a product that's only 20% released. There are still 80% of the cards left to be released. And this pace that we're on, it's incredible. I mean, it's incredible to see the amount of money being made on the secondary market of these cards. But because of that, this set is going to challenge us both financially and emotionally. So let's look at the emotion side. We want to have all the cards at once. As a baseball card collector or a football card collector, or anything of a collector, you want to have it all. Typically speaking, when you go into a new release, you can have all the cards you want within a relative print run within a couple of weeks. This is something that's going to take us many, many months to complete and see in basically full fruition. Secondarily, this is going to test us financially. If you just purchased 10 cards. Now, I know not everyone purchases 10 cards, but if you just purchase 10 cards of the remaining 320 cards that are coming out, that's nearly $50,000. Very few people out there have $50,000 just laying around to spend on this product as the weeks go by. Myself included, I do not have $50,000 sitting next to me waiting to give it to Topps for Project 2020. But because of that, it's going to open us up to a lot of potential fraud. And when you think of the flipping market, we have to be careful. I fell for something yesterday, and I say fell, I didn't do my research. And because of that, I've added a couple things to the website. One big thing to help you become a better buyer of these cards and a better flipper. But let's look at what I've added to the website to help you out this way. Now, I've taken myself off screen because I really want everyone to understand the importance of this file or this sort of picture on the website. And it's because something that I did the other day that I want you not to do. So I've added a column called live. And what that is very simple. Is the card live? AKA, do customers or do sellers already have the product in hand? If it's yes, that means yes. If it means no, it means no. It means they're not here. For example, the other day, I purchased a Grotesque. You guys know and love, my love for the Grotesque cards. I bought the Grotesque Derek Jeter. And I was like, oh man, it's going to be here pretty soon. It's going to be here pretty soon. Because this set is testing us emotionally, this card isn't even at the seller's hands yet. So how can I physically have this card? So we're going to get really, really antsy to have these cards, and we're potentially going to make a financial decision that could hurt us. And what is that financial decision? That decision that you could make on the financial side of things that's going to test us is buying a flip of a flip. And what do I mean by that? Because there are about 20 cards right now that are not released and they're skyrocketing in price, you could be potentially buying a card from a seller who doesn't even have the card from their buyer or their seller or whoever they purchased it from. Last night, I was looking to buy some cards and to be able to flip them in the future. I did pick up a couple. I picked up a Natural Gwynn, and I picked up an Old Man Allen or Old Man Allen Sandy Koufax, both in the $60 range. And I purchased them because they are already in the seller's hands and they're ready to go. But I wanted to pick up a Natural Mark McGwire. They're $100. They're not. There's only like 5 or 6 as of last night on eBay. But I got to thinking, wait, this card isn't even here, and I don't recognize this seller's name. So am I buying a flip third hand? Am I buying a flip fourth hand? I don't know this. So I decided not to purchase that card, even though I know that it is going to more than likely go up in value because his print runs are very, very low, just like old Manalands are. But it was not worth the risk. The risk of $100 to know this card isn't even in the seller's hands, I passed. I said, nope, it's not there. Now, if I had seen it from a reputable seller like a Twins Jake or somebody else that I recognize, I would have probably purchased the card, but I did not. So I think number one, if you are going to purchase cards to flip on Project 2020, number one, I would stay on cards that are live. Number two, I would stick with sellers. If you're buying a card that's not live, I would stick to sellers who are reputable sellers. Number three, if you don't know the seller or you really want to double check and sort of cross your T's and dot your I's, message the seller. Hey, are you the first owner of this card? Because if they are, then you don't have to worry about it. But when you think about the potential fraud in this game, and I'm going to touch back here, it's going to be $50,000 to complete the set from a 10x perspective going forward. There are going to be people here playing the float and floating money and floating this process to try to make a quick buck. And we have to protect ourselves against doing that. All it takes is one guy not fulfilling his orders or in the process, if you're buying a flip of a flip, for this house of cards in a sense to crumble. And I don't mean this in a negative way over the whole project. The whole project is fantastic. But because of the amount of money out there right now, I mean, we're taking a $15 item and now selling it for over $500. This is going to invite a lot of people in here. And so you just have to protect yourself and ensure that if you spend your money, if you give someone your money, like people are buying cards from me on pre-order and I'm not giving them a product for 30 days. That's an incredible amount of trust. But if we're buying these from sellers, we need to know that they have our best interests in hand. And so I would recommend staying on the flip game of the cards that are live, or buy cards before they come out firsthand to where you are then the only seller of them. But if you're going to flip these cards, I would flip in the first 60 and not even really mess with the other 20 that are not released yet, or stick with it if you're the one that's buying it. And if you're curious how I'm buying to flip, it's very simple. I'm using the numbers to tell me the story. We are still learning about these artists and their style and what their entire message is of their 20 cards. Only one card right now, the Ichiro set 5. So we're still learning these artists. I'm using low print run artists, low print run cards to pick up purchases. I'm also staying right around that $60 range of cards that are live. That's few and far between right now. But if you can find a live print run card around 60 bucks, and I'm not talking about the Mike Trouts, the very top ones. I don't think there's runway. If they're $30, $35 right now, I don't really know if they get to 60. I think there's too many of the top guys. But if you can find a middle range of 40 print run or a 50 print run around 60, maybe 70 bucks, and you can afford it, I think there's some good money to be made there in the next 30 to 60 days. But take a look at my charts. All of the numbers I'm using to determine my purchases are off the website. So I'm not using any tricky data. I'm not using data that's not published out there. Use the numbers to your advantage and buy that way. But overall, guys, very simple. If you're buying Project 2020 to flip, stick with the live cards. And if you're not going to buy a live card, stick with reputable sellers. Protect your investment that way. And your investment is your pre-order money. Do not get scammed by somebody who's trying to flip you in the wrong direction. With that, guys, have a great day collecting Project 2020. Have a great day collecting overall. And I will see you all tomorrow.